Good evening, ladies and gents. What's going on? I am Repeat, and welcome to the Iroc Challenge Series tonight from Phoenix International Raceway. By my side, one of my buddies, the one and only Byron Jones. Byron, this is our first step up. Welcome back to the saddle again, my friend. This is your home track. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Going to have just about 20 cars out here. How you feeling, sir?
Yeah, I'm feeling fantastic, Pete. You know, it's great to be back here. Great to be calling these races with you once again. And you said it best. Home track, hometown. I should know how this race is going to go down tonight in Phoenix. Every time every car is here, it always seems to put on a great show nonetheless.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Cannot wait to get get down, get dirty, get drafting, get racy, get into these corners. A lot of these guys have been saying that these cars are wicked loose, so I'm very, very curious to see how this is all gonna shake up. We do, of course, as always, have a couple stage breaks mixed in. This is only 100 laps. I'll actually go ahead and bring up your race info for this evening right now. So again, the Iroc Contender Series live from Phoenix, race 1 of round number 3, and it's gonna be a pretty cool night. Just 71 degree air temp and just about 74 degree track temp. And man, it's so these guys are gonna have a lot of grip, but I guess it's gonna be a little bit later on in the run, not immediately. What are the Phoenix nights like down there in Arizona?
Oh, well, out here, real life, it gets very, very sticky. I mean, it gets hot. The cars would stick like glue no matter what to the track. But it seems like on iRacing, you sort of have control over how cold, how hot the track needs to be, what temperature is set. So out comes in the factors. But the way that it's sitting tonight, temperature-wise, 74 degrees, that means these cars, like we mentioned, are going to be very, very slick. Everyone's going to be trying to gain heat in their tires for the first few laps, and it's really going to throw guys sideways, and they're going to have to save it pretty early on, especially through that dogleg. If you do take that chance and go all the way down towards that cone, that car is going to get slideways.
All kinds of slideways, and because the air temp is so cool, it's probably going to take quite a while for the track to come up to temp, for these guys to get any kind of a real feeling underneath them before they feel really secure in getting back to that throttle pedal. You know, very, very often in some of these races, you can actually hear the guys being very gentle on the throttle. Like old Darrell Waltrip used to say, you got to treat it like there's an egg under the throttle pedal. And when we go on board, you hear that whap, 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 whap before they're able to really get into the throttle, mat it, and try to carry the most amount of speed off of these corners, coming down the straightaway through the dog leg, wherever they want to go, in order to try to carry the most amount of speed around this 1 mile track.
Yeah, Phoenix is huge for that egg, knowing where to find that balance, especially within the car, and knowing when to sort of make that move, know how your pedals work. This is all going to come into the factor tonight. Cars are going to get sideways, guys are going to get a little bit rough. We may be able to see 3-4 wide racing tonight, just depends. Dogleg though, especially if we have a late race restart, is going to get very, very chaotic. Now, I don't know if they're doing it like real Phoenix, but in real Phoenix, when you look at that start finish, you cannot come down until you cross that start finish all the way down the dogleg. So if it does play in that factor, guys are now going to be thinking that way too. But I can't wait. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be some good racing, especially if Phoenix always puts on a show, especially in the iRacing series.
Yeah, I definitely want to apologize to everybody that is out there in chat. A big issue, unfortunately. A little bit of technical difficulty. Part of the tool did not want to work for me, so I'm unable to actually get out there and go with your leaders, but by me bringing up the scoring pylon on your left-hand side, you are able to see who's been able to put down the fastest lap. And so far, it's Brian McCann with Aaron Smith, P number 2, and Chris Mefford, P3, P4. So far, Neil Quick, hey, he's got it right there in the name, and Jesse King, will he come out Kings on top when it's all said and done 100 laps from now, Byron?
Yeah, right now I'm watching Brandon just a little bit. I can't see the best, but I am seeing him throw down a lap time currently. David Trumbley's throwing down a few. Cook Quick's throwing down some times. Sort of seeing everybody starting to get a feel for the track. trying to make sure that tire, they got to build heat in for that first lap, and that second one's where they're really going to lay down the time. But I don't know. I mean, everybody right here, it's looking like really, really close times from first to 14th. Everyone's sort of within that condensed time. About a second gap is the only difference between first place and 15th, and that's really impressive.
Oh yeah, I mean from first to fifth is less than a tenth. As you said, back to 15th, you start to get into that 1 second bracket. Those are some guys that may not have that stability factor that we were talking about just a little bit ago in order to get back on that throttle. They're going to go ahead and take it easy. Let the track come to them, and then try to get after it a little bit later on. Stages tonight, I believe, were like lap number four. Hold on, I'll go back and get the stage break info here, but it's gonna be a lot of fun, Byron. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's been a while. Last time I was up in the booth was when we were doing the sim racing channel race that we were calling, and then before that it was eSparks. It's been a while, a little bit rusty, but can't wait to get back in the groove on these Thursday nights with the Xfinity cars. We've seen, from what I've heard, great racing throughout the entire season so far. I don't expect it to stop here. I expect it to get even better, even when we inch even closer to that championship race.
Yeah, talking about championship race, let's take a quick look at your Spartan schedule here. As you can see, we are at Phoenix International Raceway, so getting closer and closer to the end. Only 5 races left. We got Charlotte Motor Speedway next week, Dash for Cash. Then we're going to the high bank, high draft, high speed Talladega Super Speedway, Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee, the last great Coliseum. Then we're going to go to the Lady in Black, Old Darlington, the track too tough to tame, and wrapping it all up at Homestead Miami Speedway. So it's going to be a lot of fun. In the meantime, though, while these guys got their warm-up, we're going to go on over, pay a couple bills, and we will be right back. I absolutely promise you. Don't nobody go nowhere.
Hey, a couple bills. It's not messing with you right now, right? It's not messing with you? Like, it's not, like, glitching in and out for you? Okay, good. No. I just don't want to start doing it to you. Because whenever I used to do this, it would, like, start glitching my cars, where my cars would bounce in and out.
Racewear apparel needs.
Trying to keep up with it, but I don't know if it was just my laptop. I haven't done it since then. I haven't seen it.
All right, Byron. So yeah, there we go. Spartan Transportation and Race Wear. A couple big sponsors of the Iroc Contender Series. And again, big welcome to everybody out there. Whether you're on Roku TV through the Iroc TV app, or if you're out there on YouTube, big welcome, and yeah, welcome aboard.
It's a great place to be, I tell you. Anywhere you go look it up. I mean, every channel that we got here is going to put on a great show. It's all going to be the same no matter where you find us. The show is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait, Pete. I mean, it's our first race for us, but it ain't the first race for them. And tonight, I expect nothing less but the best side-by-side racing we've seen all season throughout these guys.
Absolutely. Right now, riding or kind of keeping an eye on this Spartan 00 for Mike Koch. Is on top of the boards, just went purple, running a 27.55 around here, and he is cutting the dog leg, making up quite a bit of speed. His best lap so far, that is that 27.55. His last lap 27.68. We'll have to see how the times really change as this race goes on. And I mentioned before that I was going to go ahead and get the information regarding the stages for tonight. First stage is going to, and I just had it, and of course I just lost it. Let's go back to it one more. Okay, so first stage is going to end at lap 40. Second is going to end at lap 75, and then finally getting to the checkers at 100. So a full century of laps around Phoenix International Raceway. And we are just about to go ahead and kick that off. These guys, about a minute and a half left of their warm-up. And I'm actually going to go ahead and check something. I think my sound might be turned down for just a moment. Bear with me one moment, guys and gals. I definitely apologize for this. Let's go ahead and make sure you're actually able to hear these bad fast machines all evening long. There we go. Now you can go ahead and crank it up. Turn that surround sound system on. It is all on you.
There you go. Cars are going to be loud. Trust me, tonight's going to be the night that you want to see this. Want to crank it up. These cars, I love the Xfinity cars. They are by far one of my favorite throughout the entire series. I just don't know. Something about them, the skill that it takes to drive these guys week in, week out is just so fantastic to watch, because you have to have sort of that perfect balance to be able to drive these cars fast and almost on the looseness edge to where you're out of control.
That's it, man. You finished it perfectly. Loose is fast and on the edge of out of control. Old Days of Thunder quote. And yeah, it truly is. And if you can keep the tires under you, you can really do a whole lot of damage, and maybe try a little bit of strategy at the end. Maybe just some rights, maybe some lefts to keep the car planted to the inside line. Hey, who knows? I pretty sure they can go one full stage on fuel, if I'm not mistaken. But Brian, we are both new to everybody that's out here on track. Looking at the lap times and keeping up with everybody that's been out there during this warm-up session, anybody catch your eye? Do you want to take a bold stab at who gets it done tonight?
Oh, man, I think I'm going to have to go with Aaron Smith. I'm pretty sure we saw Aaron Smith run in the B-Water series that drove that 70 that was sponsorless. I think he's going to do an excellent job tonight. He's always good in every car I've seen, if this is the right Aaron Smith, because his numbers line up. Number 70, that's his number in the B-Water series as well, so I got eyes on him. He's looking very fast. That's going to be my pick. You, Pete?
All right. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and clear the boards, and we're going to go ahead and let him go ahead. Oh, come on. Go ahead and grid up. Here we go. So, Brian, we're gonna go through the field, but yeah, I had forgotten all about Aaron Smith, and you could very well be right. But going through our field, Brian McCann is going to be on the pole with his number 3 from McCann Racing. P number 2 is going to be Aaron Smith, guy you were just talking about in that number 70. Chris Mefford, P number 3. Brian Mefford to his outside to round out row number 2. Neil Quick, it's got it in the name, in his deuce, starting P5. In the 25 is going to be Jesse King for KS Racing, rounding out row 3. Row number 4 is going to be Kevin McCann with Stony Benfield. Love that name. In P number 8. P9, Kyle Pendergraft. And somebody actually just put out there in chat that the 14 is going to go ahead and take it. Mike Koch in that 00 for P number 10, rounding out row number 5. Row number 6, it looks like we're going to have David E. Brown starting P11. P12 is going to be Chris Wally. Let's go ahead and go through the rest of the field. As we just mentioned, Chris Wally. Then we got Brandon Leclerc in his number 21. The 96 of David Trumbley. Brian Reek in his number 11, starting P15. P16 is going to be Jeff Napier. Old Jack Napier, Batman. Hey, there you go. Joshua Funkhauser. I love that name. And his number 81, starting P17. James Kaufman, P18 in his number 41. And that is going to go all the way through. And man, what a way to set this field. Byron, we're going to go ahead and clear this one more time. We're going to come back around. Chris Mefford is going to be the one to take him to the green. Here we go, buddy.
Green flag.
Green flag's out. Let's go.
For the first time all season for us, it's going to be green flag racing. Look at all those guys dipping down into the dog leg, but it's going to be the 83 of Brandon Medford and the 46 of Chris Medford taking point right now. Those two are going to look and seek to drive away from the number 2 of Neil Quick.
Yeah, down the backstretch, heading into turn number 3. So far, Chris Medford able to hold off the field in his number 46, kind of like in those Dodge racing stripes going down the side. Definitely a pretty good use for him. Let's go ahead and bring up all your info. That way you know who is where, and where they're at. Again, Miss Chris Medford going to go ahead and grab a point in that number 46. P2, another Medford with Mr. Quick riding P number 3.
At the rate they're going right now, I'm going to go ahead and call them the Bash Bros with the way they're driving 1 and 2 right now, keeping everyone behind. I tell you, these two are looking pretty hot early on. I know the 70 and the 41 also fell back early on. They dropped to the back. Sorry, the 70 and the 3, they fell back. We're going to see how they slowly make their way up to the track. But those guys already up a few positions already so far within 2 laps.
You know what I like, though? Talking about the leader, Chris Medford, one more time before we start going through the field a little bit more. He actually just went purple with a 27.79. So it's not somebody a little bit further in the back. It's carrying maybe a little bit of draft. He's actually up there and able to carry a great line. But we always say, Byron, anywhere we go, clean air is king. And that's exactly what the 46 is utilizing to be able to turn these bad, fast laps.
Always, 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 especially at Phoenix. You get in that dirty air, that car is not going to want to turn, especially in 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. The car just, for some reason, if you're stuck in that air, you have to run a different line. As we're watching in-car right now with Medford as he takes his way through. Xfinity cars, you can run this top side, and that's actually where you're going to find the most speed, best exit off the corner. Meanwhile, in trucks, other cars, you want that bottom. Xfinity cars, they are just a whole different beast.
Yeah, drop it back a couple spots to Neil Quick right now, sitting P3, watching how much he's got to get off the throttle, try to get back on it. Let the car wash all the way up track, close to the wall. Don't hit it. You just don't want to scrub off too much speed coming off the corner. So you let the car eat. And the old phrase or the old adage, flatten the curb. That is something that you can absolutely do here at Phoenix. Going down the backstretch, back into 3 one more time.
Especially as our buddy Rick James likes to say, you like to diamond 1 and 2, make that best exit off corner. As we're looking at 33 of Kevin McCann here, sitting in 5th place, chasing down the top 4. Everyone, though, all within reach of the 1st place, which is the 46 of Chris Medford. But I'm not seeing really difference right now. Everyone's sort of just staying together, being only 6-7 laps in. Everyone's keeping pace. We'll have to see, though, later on the run how much tire fall off affects certain people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. I mentioned Chris Medford when he went purple. His lap at the time was 27.79. Nobody else is left in the 27s. Everybody's already in the 28s and above. So a lot of guys really starting to slow down already. 8 laps into 100, working towards right around lap 40 for that stage 1 break. So we got a pretty long conga line going down the backstretch into the final turn before they come across the start stripe to visit Barney the Flagman one more time. Byron, this is the only track that has a dog leg. When you're coming down off the track onto that apron or through that dog leg, how much does it actually mess with the stability of the car?
So it messes with a good amount because the transition from banking to flat ground is a huge difference. So it's upsetting the car. Tires aren't gripping as easily as they want versus how you see some of these guys taking the bend. The also huge factor that you have to taking the bend versus trying to go down there, risk the move, get loose, get slowly, whatever, is you actually save tires by staying through that drop. Even if you drop down that white line just a little, you're not scrubbing your tires, trying to drop down, get on the flat part, which is why you see so many guys hitting up top. It's interesting to see what guys are taking the risk early on, dropping down below the dog leg, and what guys are sort of saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to make my car a long run car, and we're going to stay up top, see how we can do.
There you go. Yeah. And the more you make the tires work for you, the warmer they get, the more the air pressure builds up, the better these cars feel. So, hey, we'll have to see how these guys do on the long run. But again, just working lap 11, now 12 out of 100. Byron, it's going to be a long night in the desert. And, with how far we are into their chase, every single position, every single point matters. And there isn't a whole lot of, or there aren't very many different grooves here at Phoenix. How many different racing lines would you say there are around this place?
I'd probably give it 2-3 best in the Xfinity Series. You can run that mid to high lane. Obviously, we saw in the real world. A little bit later on within the run, we saw Ty Gibbs, Noah Gregson. They were throwing their cars up in that very top groove, trying to give themselves the best runoff on really old tires. Plus, not only did it do that, but it also gave you clean air. Here, iRacing, it's a little bit different, but I've heard from Jesse Awuji that this is as close as you can get to one of the best tracks, best laser scan from iRacing the realness. So these guys, if they play it right later in the long run, they can jump to that top side and say, hey, you know what? Maybe that is my spot. And they're going to take advantage full-fledged. We'll have to see, though. But meanwhile, that 46, he's slowly starting to create a gap. Gap starting to expand just a little. I believe out now to half a tenth behind the guy behind him.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed as Chris Mefford has been able to keep that machine, in the wind. Nobody behind him, even with the dirty air, even with a couple, scraping the wall now and then. Nobody's really fallen off. I mean, if you look at the scoring pylon, the top 3 are still within a second. The top 5 within 2 seconds. The top 10 within 5 seconds. So nobody's really fallen off. Nobody's really out of this. One mistake by one could bring everybody right back into the fray.
Yeah, most definitely. You hit the nail with the hammer. I mean, it's true. Everyone's so close together, so compact. As you can see, top 5, you can basically throw a blanket under them. And that's, for this track, seeing that distance spread out between the top 5 is huge. You look at Phoenix, you look at past races, other races maybe. The distance between 1 and 2 spreads out by almost 2-3 second gaps by the time you hit lap 15. These guys are still within a huge battle, and I believe whether or not it's brothers or not, or if they're related, they are going at it right now. And that 2 real quick sitting there in the hunt, waiting. Like you said, if a mistake happens, he can take full-fledged advantage on it.
Absolutely. Looks like a nice little battle back here between the 51 and the 7. The 51 is Chris Wally. The 7 right now, David E. Brown. Chris Wally is up 5 spots from where he originally started in that Spartan number 51. David Brown right behind him in this number 7. I'm actually kind of liking a lot of these cars and their color choices or the liveries or the schemes. Whole lot of ingenuity and creativity in each and every one of them. But I tell you what, Byron, since it looks like we got a pretty good green flag feel to this this race, what do you say we go through the field and kind of reintroduce everybody, where they're from, if they've got all that filled out on their driver cards, and give each and every one of these guys a little bit of the limelight that they absolutely deserve.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, so we'll start up front with our buddy Chris Mefford. We were talking about him earlier out of Knightstown, Indiana. All racing for Falcon Motorsports, racing for Riley and Zoe's place. So again, Chris Mefford up 2 spots after starting P3. Right now, the one with all the clean air. Brandon Mefford right behind him, Knightstown, Indiana also. Zoe's place, racing for Riley. Sitting P2, also up 2. Neil Quick right behind him in this number 2. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and switch these up. That way you guys can get a real good look at, again, just the creativity of some of these cars. I'll show you the leader and P2 again one more time before we get back to Neil Quick sitting right here in this deuce, up 2 spots from where he started. Kevin McCann back here in P number 4 from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I know right where that is. Up 3 spots and his onboard Spartan machine. Jesse King right now sitting P5, up 1 spot in this number 25. Again, Byron, a whole lot of really interesting color choices for all these cars. Definitely make them pop. He's from Newton, Texas. Kyle Pendergraft, which someone mentioned out there in chat earlier that he was going to be the one for the win. Right now he's sitting P6, up 3 spots, doing all right from New Albany. Chris Wally, we were just talking about him back here in this number 51 from Tallahassee, Florida. Doing a pretty good job so far, up 5 spots. And yeah, we'll have to see just how much he's got saved in that machine to continue to work his way forward. Mr. David E. Brown back here in this lime green number 7. So far up 3 spots, doing pretty well, sitting P8. P number 9, talking about Aaron Smith. And Byron, you could be right. I hadn't thought about that Aaron Smith for quite a while. From Hollywood, South Carolina. He's down 7 spots from where he started. But hey, there's a lot of racing yet to go. Brian McCann back here, and he's right now sitting in, I'm going to guess, he had a little bit of an issue. He's sitting in this 3 car, but from King, North Carolina. He's got Dale Earnhardt as his profile picture, and hey, we'll have to see if he drives like he did in that 3. The Double O, talking about Mike Koch, and his onboard, down 1 spot from where he originally started in this Double O. Have to see how he fares as the race rolls on. Stony Benfield, I love that name. Right now he's sitting in P number 12. He's down 4 spots from where he started, from Albemarle, North Carolina. Not too shabby. James Kaufman back here, sitting P13 in his number 41. He's up 5 spots, so he's kind of making this place his playground, moving up pretty nicely through the field. David Trumbley right now, he is right where he started. No loss, no gain, holding serve, doing pretty well from Toledo, Ohio. Joshua Funkhauser, love the name. In his number 81, he's up 2 spots right now. He's sitting in P15, about 15, almost 16 seconds behind the leader, but we haven't got to that stage break yet where we're going to rack and stack them all back up. Brian Reek back here in this number 11 from O'Fallon, Missouri. Spartan Logistics Management, LLC, Spartan Transportation, LLC, one of the proud sponsors of the Iroc Contender Series. Thank you very much for all you do, Brian. Absolutely appreciate it, and thank you very much for bringing me and Byron on board. Cook Quick, pretty quick right now, sitting back in P17. He is down 6 spots. I'm sure he's looking forward to that restart. And Byron, that's through the field.
Yeah, a lot of you guys now are starting to spread out, but this is a huge field. You just went through it all like it was nothing. Really impressive, by the way. I would have never been able to do that, but I tell you, it's great to see everyone here. Everyone's sort of now starting to get the feel. Everyone's starting to spread out just a bit. But it's great to see people racing from across the world in just one series. You think back a few years ago, this was never possible, but now here it is. We transfer from NASCAR Heat to iRacing, one of the best platforms there is, and I tell you, it keeps getting better and better every month.
Yeah, it absolutely does. iRacing continually, updates tracks, updates the cars, updates everything. iRacing was the main catalyst that got the new Atlanta Motor Speedway up and running. They actually went to iRacing and said, hey, we want to change the track. What can you do for us? iRacing built Atlanta Motor Speedway, or they were the architect, I guess you could say, for the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. And then you look at a track like iRacing Super Speedway, a 3-mile long track shaped like Martinsville, but banked like Talladega or Daytona. I mean, who would have ever thought? But yeah, iRacing and their creativity and ingenuity. Right now, riding along with Kevin McCann and Neil Quick right behind, sitting 3rd and 4th, as it looks like we got a challenge for the lead. And I'm not quite sure if that was with a little bit of help from a lap car or what exactly that was. But now Brandon Medford still sitting P number 1, and Chris Medford still sitting P number 2. But they did just change positions.
Yeah, they just swapped positions. Didn't lose much time, though, but you can see in the back the 33 of Kevin McCann slowly starting to make his way back. But these two, now, if they get back to each other, they're going to start battling. Here at Phoenix, once you start battling, you lose a ton of time. But I don't know. Brandon's now slowly starting to drive away. Maybe the 46 of Chris made a mistake. Maybe he made slight contact with the lap car. But he's dropping pretty quick to 83. He's got that fresh air, and he's saying, give me all of it. He's using it to his advantage.
Yeah, you got to wonder if he was just sitting back there, biding his time, just really stalking Chris. And when the time was right, lap car came into play, he was able to get on by. Tell you what, let's actually go back, find out exactly how that pass happened, and then we'll come back. There you go. Just threw it down into the lap car was right in the tracks where Chris needed to be. Took the run. He had to get on the brake. New leader, Brandon Medford. We'll go ahead and bring it back live.
Used him as a pick. That's the best way you can do it, especially here at Phoenix. Lap cars are your friends sometimes. Using them as a pick, making them the move, and he did that, executed it absolutely perfectly, and now allowing himself out front. Meanwhile, at 33 of Kevin, he's staying where he is. He's not closing the gap, not really doing anything. So if it comes down to pitting first, if you're in this third position, you see those two in front of you, do you come down first, or do you sort of wait, bite your time, and hope that when they come down that you don't lose too much time to them?
Yeah, that is absolutely a strategy call when it comes to stage racing. Yeah, you come in a couple laps before the pits close, grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, go ahead and fill it up with that Sunoco E15, come on back out for a couple laps. You got the best feeling rubber on the track, and you're able to make up just a little bit of time. But during those 2 laps, you're going to go a lap down, so you got to worry. You got to think about the free pass. But if you're quick enough, you could also get that lucky dog, come back around when everybody goes down pit road, and you end up right there anyway. So it all plays out in different ways. Working lap 36, we're 4 laps away from the end of stage number 1. Byron, I'll tell you what, this green flag field that this field has is absolutely amazing. We've got a lot of really fast guys out here. Seen a little bit of side by side now and then, but as you can tell by the track map, very, very spread out for the most part.
Yeah, huge stage break is a key factor, especially in series that go the long distance. We've seen other series do it, as now we see a little bit of a mix between the 51 and the 3. They're going to slowly start going at it with 4 to go. We'll have to see how the 3 plays this out, if he's going to go for the position or if he's going to bide his time. Meanwhile, that 51 wants that position from that 14. We'll have to see 4 laps. Battle's starting to heat up. These guys are getting hot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chris Wally right now, he's sitting there in P number 8. I'm not sure if top 10 or top 5 get stage breaks, but he absolutely wants every position he can get. Again, this is one of their playoff races. Every point absolutely matters.
Yes, it does, and the huge battle between this is fantastic. So there you go. It looks like not a lot of these guys are planning on coming down pit road. They want the positions. They're not stage racing. They're not racing till the end. They are stage racing. They want the points. They said, you know what, it's in front of me. Let me come get some. And they are battling as hard as they can. 3 cars for 1 position. This is going to get interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean, riding along with Brian McCann right now. Has got the 51 down low. 51 really doing a great job of getting down and through the dog leg, washing up just a little bit under brake. Going to try to get back in the throttle as much as he can. I really don't hear a whole lot of throttle issues. I don't really hear a whole lot of tire scrubbing either. So, caution's out. That's going to be stage break.
So it looks like then it must have been top 5, because they would have waited until all 10 crossed the line for out the caution. I'm going to go with you got points for top 5, but those guys at the end, they definitely were like, you know what, we're just going to burn the tires full send it, and that's the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. Every single one of these guys got after it all 40 laps. That just went to show that they were able to go the entire distance. of stage number 1 without having to pit. Now stage 2 is complete at lap 75, and then it's just a 25 lap shootout here in the desert. When that comes, it's going to be, get after it. I don't think you have to worry about your tires all that much here at Phoenix. You can really try to dig all 25 laps.
Yeah, 25 laps won't burn your tires as much as you think it will, unless if you're constantly using that dog leg and you're getting sideways, it's going to be no help. 25 laps is nothing with these cars, but yellow's out. Looks like everyone's going to take advantage of pit road. The 83 of Brandon Mefford is going to lead them all down here. He's going to drop right in the pit stall number 3 or number 4, I believe. Number 4 he's going to drop into, with the 46 of Chris going to drop in number 3. We'll have to see where everybody's going to file out, but that 46 did overshoot the pit stall.
Yeah, just a little bit. Meanwhile, the 83 of Brandon Mefford, he hit it right on the number. He's pulled into his pit stall. That pit sign came down, smacked the hood, which means he was right where he needed to be, and he's gonna take the field, and he's gonna be the control car when it's all said and done. Let's see if we can't grab Brandon Mefford right quick, see what he thinks about stage 1 and what he's contemplating in stage number 2. Brandon, it's Repeat and Byron up in the booth. Buddy, welcome up here for the first one. You're our first guest. You won stage number 1. You're right behind Chris Mefford that entire stage up until it was time to go, when a lap car kind of played a little bit of havoc between you. Were you just being patient and riding in his tire tracks for that time, or or did you really just take advantage of the lap car?
Well, I was starting to get a little better than him right there. He started getting a little tight, so I was a lot better there off of the last corner. So early on, we were just riding. Him and I were trying to save tires. But then I was going to get by him, I believe, but the lap car helped out. I did move down below the yellow line to help give him some room. I didn't, we're teammates, so we want to finish 1-2 here no matter who's winning. So I'm gonna go race for it now. He's too far behind me.
There you go. Is this a family ordeal between you two?
Yep, he's my little brother.
There you go. All right, I'll get you back down with Mr. Mefford right now. Good luck. Keep the shiny side up, sir.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. All right, so we got him back down with Chris Mefford. They're going to get down, get going right in just a quick amount of time. Again, this is just a 1 mile track, so as soon as the pace lights are out, these guys will go back green. Byron, they're going to be racked and stacked all back up. Every position's going to matter on these restarts. You feeling green about this, or do you think elbows are up, aggression levels peaked, and they're going to get a little dirty?
I think it's going to stay green, and for one thing that I got in my mind right now, that third place position, Aaron Smith, him and the number 3 of Brian McCann both started in the back of the field for this race. They were the last 2 positions, and look where Aaron Smith is. He's going to go in elbows up into this corner, and he's going to see if he can't get both of these guys within one shot. He's looking really, really fast. His speed is huge. We'll have to see if it continues. His pace guard's going to duck off. They're going to make their long way down to the restart zone, with the 83 of Brian Mefford and the 33 of Kevin McCann going to lead them away.
Yeah, we got a good shot of Barney the flagman right now. These guys going down the back stretch. Barney's just waiting and waiting. He knows exactly what's about to happen. He's got to wonder, is he going to have to watch out for any tire spin or what's happening? Green flag's back out. Byron, stage 2. Let's roll.
83 of Brandon Mefford is going to get a huge jump off the start finish and going to go ahead and leave everybody into 1 and 2. Meanwhile, the 70 of Aaron Smith was able to clear second place, but he's going to have a battle from the 2. I believe I did hear slight contact in the back. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did. I heard something in the back as well. So far, haven't quite seen anything pop up for me, but let's roll back. It looks like the 00 of Mike Koch might be slightly involved. Looks like Mr. Quick back there as well. Jeff Napier looks like he's pretty clean. So I didn't get a notification as to exactly who that was. But Joshua Funkhouse, David Brown, and Brian Reek might have been a person or people of interest, but no notification for an actual wreck.
Yeah, it was a little bit interesting. Obviously, both of us caught that movement there going on in the back, so it could have been just slight contact heading in the 1 and 2. Obviously, that dog leg could have got loose heading up out of it, but that number 2 was just barely able to squeak just past that 70 for the second place position. He timed that one right. So now Aaron's going to have to start in that 3rd position once again. Meanwhile, the 2 of Neil Quick, he's going to move up 2 spots within that restart.
I'll tell you what, since we were able to talk to our leader before, let's see if we can't find old Mr. Quick. He's down there in old Lucky Channel 8. So let's see if we can't grab a quick word with him. Let's see here. Mr. Quick, it is Repeat and Byron Jones up in the booth, but after the stage break, you're the next contender to come on down. How are you, sir? And what you thinking about that deuce on this track here at night?
It feels pretty good right now. Just making the moves when I need to, and trying to conserve tires and have something at the end for these guys.
So now this restart that's coming up, how are you generally pretty good on the restarts where you can kind of judge where the leader's going to go, or are you a little bit more worried about stabbing that throttle just before him and possibly suffer from a black flag?
No, I try to go with them, try to not get myself in a situation of black flag. It's just, unfortunately, the biggest part about this restarting here at Phoenix is the outside, you're a sitting duck.
Yep.
I mean, that's how I picked up all those positions the last restart, was the fact that the inside has a little bit of an advantage. But,
all right.
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I did not mean to cut you off.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I just try to get the best restart from the outside and retain where I'm at here.
All right, buddy. You go ahead and live after that name. I know you are. Sitting right now, P2. You got Aaron Smith and Kevin McCann behind you. But everybody's been chasing them efforts tonight. Go get it done.
Yeah, shake and bake, buddy.
There you go. All right, so we got him back down with his team. And Byron, I'm kind of digging this Spartan logo on all these cars for Spartan Transportation.
Yeah, I am. It took me a minute to understand why everyone had the same exact sponsor until you put 2 and 2 together. Iroc series, well, Iroc was a bunch of cars, the same exact style. Makes more sense now for me, but these guys, I mean, oh my God, the cars look just so beautiful on track. And I tell you, I mean, I'm no biased or anything, but that number deuce is looking even more special than everyone else on the track.
I know you're kind of partial to the 2. You run the 2 in a couple of leagues that you run in, right along with the 29. So man, that's why I lean on you for the track info or strategy info. You're very, very good at it. You came in top 3 in a couple different leagues, but Byron, we're coming off track again. Pace car is down. They're going down the backstretch. Tense moments for everybody before they stab the throttle. Are they worried about wheel spin right now, or just being in that second gear, pretty low gear, they should be able to get after it?
Being in second's not too high. As we switch over to Barney here, patiently waiting. These guys, tire spin shouldn't be huge, but we'll have to see. Green flags waving once again. The 83 with another great jump. Meanwhile, the 2 and 70 are going to go side by side through the dogleg, heading in the 1 and 2 once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon Medford got a pretty good jump there, and there he is. I'm actually kind of surprised that he was all the way up on that high line to go ahead and start the race. But look at this, side by side for P2, side by side for 4th and 5th. And right now, Kevin McCann, he's sitting back there in this number 3, just wondering which line. I'm sorry, that's not Kevin McCann, Brian McCann rather, sitting back there as the sole. I guess you could say, sitting at P number 6, wondering which line is going to go. If I'm him, I'm watching ahead at that 83 to see where he goes and try to duplicate his line.
Yeah, he is the huge help right now. He is the eye in the sky, the man to watch And you see everyone just finally through these amazing shots we've got going on. Brandon's just looking really, really good. He's looking really, really strong, both throughout the short run and the long run. And at the rate he's going, I don't think the 370 or anyone else has a shot for him. But like I said, the 3 and the 70 did start in the back of the field to start this race. And look at the positions they're in right now. 6th and 3rd. They're continuously climbing, and it looks like their long run speed ain't going to stop. Meanwhile, we have a battle going on, Pete, between 2 and 83.
Absolutely. Neil Quick just going ahead and being the quickest man in town. I went ahead and just ran a lap 27.76, the fastest pace that's been run so far this evening. Back there on lap 53. So yeah, getting up here now. You just got to worry. Okay, so the 83, he's really pinching him down. So that's gonna make the 2 get. You'll have to drive off the corners just a little bit harder, and the 83 again going to be right there on his outside door. So the 2 at this point cannot get back on the throttle and allow that allow that car to wash up towards the outside wall, and the 83 is going to prevail. Quick, back to P2.
Yeah, not only is that hurting you on the inside, not being able to get the best drive off, but it's also going to burn your tires up. Your stuff is going to get burnt very, very quickly the more you're pinched. We've seen it in other tracks. Phoenix is no exception. Every time you get pinched down there, this burns your tires even worse. Although if you can flutter down there, flutter back up, that's where you have your advantage. But once you're pinned, it's tough to pass, especially on the bottom here.
Absolutely. I mean, the bottom here, it's one of the just couple of lanes that you've actually got around Phoenix International Raceway. You can go up higher, absolutely, but you're by getting back in the throttle and being, turning the wheel a little bit longer because you're going around the longest part of the track. If you're down around the apron, you're covering the shortest amount of track, especially when you're able to cut the dog leg. But when you're out by the wall, you're turning more, you're burning more of the right front. You might be able to drive it off the right rear just a little bit more, but it's not overall healthy for the car in the long run.
No, not at all, and especially with these cars, with how high high the RPMs can get, especially in 4th gear, they bog down a lot. So you see a lot of these guys occasionally at the end of their run shifting the 3rd, trying to get the RPMs up, trying to burn those tires, heat up the tires just a little, allow the car to spin. But I don't think that's going to happen right now. Everyone just playing calm, playing cool, playing collective, not really jostling for position just yet. But as you said, that the 70's looking just a little bit low, but not going to be able to. Everyone single file. Once again, a huge conga line going on.
Yeah, absolutely, going down the backstretch. Let's kind of go back through the field again. Tell you what, let's this time let's go back to Jeff Napier. Right now he's last man standing. He's kind of the man in the rear with the gear. Not the slowest by any means. He's got a pretty fast lap of a 28.8 out there. When you're thinking about some of these other guys, 28.3s. And 28.2s and whatnot, so a little bit slower than the rest, but he's also got some damage on the right hand side of his Camaro. Let's actually take a look at some of the damage that he's got. A little bit of scrapage there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right front, but it doesn't look too bad. It looks like the wheel wells for the most part are intact. And Byron, not generally being a track that's well known for being aero dependent, I'm kind of surprised that he would be back here if it is due to damage.
Yeah, but I tell you, no matter what, slightest contact here, Phoenix, not only if it is to the back, really messes up your corner entry and how you can take the corners as well. Coming in, trying to brake, the rear end's not wanting to turn because it's got too much damage on it is really affecting it just a little too. Because huge speed difference, especially as we're looking at the 11 here, front end damage, your speed changes wildly, and you may not think it's a lot, but it is a ton. You're moving up a little. You got the 81 jostling for position with the 23 of Quick. Everyone now, they're sort of staying under a blanket there between position 15 and 18. Everyone doing a great job. There's battles throughout the entire field, Pete.
Absolutely. Now up here with the 11 of Brian Reek. He's right behind that 40. So the 40, one or more laps down, because Brian in this 11, even though he's behind him on track, he's actually showing ahead of him in position. The 11 showed a lot of speed earlier. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage to that splitter and elsewhere. So he's probably just hoping for that stage 2 caution to come up, sooner than later. He might have actually been part of that caution where we didn't get a notification as to who it was. Quite a bit of damage on the front end. I'll try to go ahead and actually get a look. There we go. Get a look at that at the front end of that Camaro right now.
Yeah, she is not looking pretty, that's for sure. Here soon you can start selling that on cars for us. Beat in fronts, man, I tell you. But it doesn't look too bad. I mean, for being a car at Phoenix, it's not a bad front looking in. It's just how much damage he's done to the engine is the big question. So you see that 23?
I did.
He is sliding. He is slipping everywhere.
All kinds of slideways coming. Actually, that was going into the corner. So I'm going to guess that he had to stab that brake really, really hard not to get into the back end of the 81. And when he did that, one hell of a save. That would definitely be a good hands move of the race if we were giving out any Rick James awards. But let's keep on moving up through the field. How about old Mr. Trumbley here in this 96? No real issue for him. Right ahead of him, though, is going to be that 00. Nothing going on there. So let's move up a little bit more. A little bit of a battle here between the 7 and the 14. 14 of Kyle Pendergraft, which one actually picked to go ahead and win it, as he's another one going to go ahead and throw it into the corner. I'm impressed by some of the drifting techniques of these guys.
I tell you, I'd do that, I'd be in the wall. There ain't no way. I mean, but it goes to show how well these guys are and how much practice they get within the week to sort of understand the cars, get a feel for the cars. These guys, we've seen it, close quarters racings, and not yet have we seen a wreck happen between the front guys just from hard racing. You can see the 7 now. He's going to dip under the 14. That 41 gave him room, allowed him to do it, and that's the best thing you can do here. Oh, big contact with the wall for the 14.
Yeah, 14 absolutely plowed that outside wall with the right rear, and then the right front just, came on up also. Nothing you can do about that. 7's going to take big advantage of that. That's going to be Dave Brown. He's going to move on up just a bit. That's going to put Brown in P number 10. So cracking that top 10, working lap 69 out of 100. So we're getting closer and closer to that stage break on lap 75. And then, Byron, we talked about that 25 lap shootout here in the desert. That is next on hand. So let's go on up, catch up with our leader, the 83 of Brandon Mefford. He's still in very tight control. Aaron Smith, we were watching him a little bit ago. He's up to P number 2. Started the night in P number 2 as well. Kevin McCann, P3. Neil Quick, P4 after restarting outside after that last caution. Chris Mefford, who led quite a few laps tonight, rounds out your top 5.
Yeah, everyone's just so far. You see the 3 of Brian McCann currently sitting in 6th place. He's down 5 positions, struggling to sort of make his way back up through the field. And then you got the 25 of Jesse King, only 1 position behind, and that is in 7th place, starting in 6th. 51 of Chris Wally, finding himself in position number 8 right now, trying to track down that 25. Meanwhile, the 75 of Stoney Benfield, trying to track down that 51. And then you got 10th place, David Brown, sort of out in his lonesome, chilling where he can and biding his time till stage break.
Yeah, looking ahead from him, he's got nothing going on, nothing in the immediate windshield, so he can worry about just hitting his line, doing his thing, and make sure that he can stay right there. Working lap 73 now. We're going to go on back up with our leader. That was going through your top 10. Now riding on the hood cam, or the roof cam rather, with this number at 83. Brandon Mefford and Chris Mefford have certainly led the most laps tonight. Byron, they've been the only leaders.
Yes, they have, and I tell you, they have put on one show so far this race. Those two brothers going at it, little brother, big brother, but now slowly coming in the picture is that 70 of Aaron Smith. He's starting to close that gap, but he's not going to have enough time. 1 or 2 laps remaining left in this stage. Aaron, if he wants to burn his tires, he can do it. Now's the time before they come down. Get fresh. Like you said, send it out for those last 20, 25 laps in the race. Everyone's going to get dicey, and I think that's when we're going to start seeing big wrecks.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the concentration on the face of this AI driver. I just had to. But yeah, looking back out the rear view, he knows that Aaron Smith is there, but it's not going to mean anything. This is lap 75 coming to the end of it. And then, yeah, Byron down this backstretch, heading into turn 4, coming to see Barney, and this will be it. Yellow flag will fly.
Stage 2 is completed, and the 83 of Brandon Medford is going to pick up his second stage win of the night. He's 2 for 2. That's going to move him up, and he is going to be looking really, really good heading into the final stage.
There you go. Caution is out. Brandon Medford wins stage number 2. Aaron Smith P2, Kevin McCann P3, Neil Quick P4, Chris Medford able to hang on in P number 5. When we talked to Brandon, Byron, he said that he didn't feel like he was going to have any kind of an immediate challenge now because little brother was just a little bit further in the back. So he wasn't going to be able to fight his way through traffic. And yeah, that's all attributed to the very limited racing lines around Phoenix Raceway.
Yep, that it is. And little brother, he should start taking down some notes. I tell you, that 83, he's got a lot to teach right now. He's going to look really good as he's going to lead the field down into pit road for hopefully the last time tonight, as they are all going to come down. They're going to come down for 4 Eagle Fuel Goods, 2 full cans of Sunoco Fuel, as you see just the entire field packing down.
Now, Byron, a lot of these guys, I'm sure, they're running with all kinds of different tools to see exactly what they need. You know, you've got SimApps, you've got SDK, you've got all kinds of different tools to help you with your fuel strategy. With how loose these cars are in the beginning, are you one to go ahead and pack it full, knowing that it's going to give the car just a little bit more stability, a little bit more weight in the rear end? Or do you only take the amount of fuel that you need to get to the end, which should be right around lap 21 to go when Barney waves that green flag one more time?
Nope. Here at Phoenix, if it was Auto Club, I'd say yes, take only the fuel you need. But here at Phoenix, you need that weight down on the car. You need to keep that car heavy so it'll turn right. Less weight equals that car is not going to stay as stable as you want it to be, and it's going to be super light, and it's going to want to push up to the wall. Taking the fuel, taking everything you can, creates that downforce, lets that car sit a little bit lower on the track, and allows your car to get the right corners in and out of the corners and create the best corner that you can get.
There you go. Couldn't have said it any better myself. I was looking to see if we can get a hold of the double 3, old Kevin McCann, but it doesn't look like he is actually available to chat. So how about Mr. Chris Medford? We talked to his brother earlier. Let's see if we can't pull this 46 up to the booth and have a quick word. Chris, it's Repeat and Byron Jones up in the booth, bud. You led a whole bunch of laps early. You're going to restart stage number 3 with just 21 laps remaining. Can you get on up there and battle your brother for the W?
Man, I don't know. The car was really strong early. Then got stuck behind a lap car, and I'm not sure if I made contact with him or the wall. But I just about wrecked it, and the car hasn't been the same since. So hopefully this short run will play in my favor. I know we'll get a couple of good short run guys up here in front of us, so we'll see what we can do.
Well, buddy, I'll give you a little bit of little bit of help here. Looking at the front end as well as the side, there is no damage to that Spartan number 46 whatsoever. That Camaro is looking clean and pristine, sir. I think you can get it, and if you keep the shiny side up, I got faith in you, sir.
Right on, I appreciate it. We'll give her hell.
There you go, man. I'll get you back down. Good luck one more time.
Awesome, thank you.
You got it. All right, so, man, Byron, do you think Chris can get on up there, restarting in P4? He's going to be restarting on that high side. You mentioned earlier that you can really get around the high side in these cars. So can he get up there, get racy, and put on a show between these two bros?
You can only imagine. Like you said, he's been really fast, and I don't expect anything to change. I know he said he had damage, and the car may not feel the same, but the fact that he's sitting in position number 4 right now is huge, and this is going to be the best thing you can, because now you got 20 laps. It's going to be short run. There ain't no saving the tires, trying to see how long you can last on 40 laps. It is a straight go till the end, and these guys are going to push for everything they got.
Talking about pushing for everything they got, pushing that throttle pedal one more time. Green flag is out. 20 laps remaining. If you guys want to catch everything with these guys, go on over to Twitter at Iroc TV Media. Follow them everywhere they go. They do one hell of a job on track and off. Let's go. Caution's out.
It's going to come out. 41 just tagged the wall pretty hard, and so did the 14.
Yeah, it looks like Kyle Pendergraft definitely going to have some issues back there right along with James Kaufman. Let's see if we can switch up this camera, go back with Kyle. I saw him absolutely plow that inside wall. Let's go. $14 really down on that yellow line, just a little loose, little too happy with the throttle. Ooh, kept it off that wall. How about James Kaufman?
Good save for him.
Absolutely.
Damage.
Good job locking it down.
Yeah, minimal damage for that 14.
Ooh, 41 hard in the inside wall. Just nowhere to go whatsoever. He tried to avoid one, got tagged by another, sent to the inside wall. As light as these cars are, nothing he could do at all. It was either T-bone Pendergraft or try to move on up just a little bit and sneak on by. Not the way that it wanted to play out for him.
Nah, I think that 41 was more worried about dodging that 14 and just wasn't paying attention to what was above him. That's all. Just unfortunate for him. He had a great race going for the position he was in and just hooked it.
Absolutely. So Brandon Medford now, he's still leading after getting a phenomenal launch on that restart. Neil Quick sitting P2. He gave Brandon quite a bit of a fit for the lead earlier. So is this going to be another short run that he could possibly try to take advantage of? Or is Kevin McCann in that double 3 going to come on up and say, hey, this is mine for the stealing, move on over? Will we see a little bit of bumper tag?
I think so. I think it's going to be a game of now, hey, you know what? I got a bumper. I may use it, just give you a little bit of a shove. Or as Ty Gibbs would say, oh, I didn't try to wreck him. I wanted to move him, didn't want to wreck him. But who knows? At the end of this race, it could be anything. It could be guys throwing doors at each other by the end of this one's done. Everyone's looking really clean up in the front, but I highly doubt that's going to stay the same with about a little less than 20 laps to go in this race. Everyone's slowly, their patience dying down a lot right now.
Absolutely. Patience is out the window. I mean, we're talking about playoff racing. Talking about playoffs, let's go ahead and show you what the schedule is going to be for the upcoming weeks. Lights atop the pace car are still on, so we'll go ahead and take this moment. Obviously, again, tonight, Phoenix International Raceway, and man, it's been a lot of fun so far. Been really getting up, getting racy. Next week, Charlotte Motor Speedway, talking about the beast of the Southeast. So that track always lends to some great side-by-side racing, either through turns 1 and 2, then you get down into turns 3 and 4. You got to let up just a little bit, just crack that throttle. But coming off 4 with the transition of the banking, a lot of cars tend to get a little tail happy there. We might see just a little bit of that. Talladega, it is always the unknown race where anybody can and usually does win. Then Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, Thunder Valley, whatever you want to call it, right after. So how about going from the longest track on the oval circuit to the shortest on the oval circuit And then to the Lady in Black, second to last race, Darlington Raceway, and then Homestead, Miami for Homestead Raceway. I cannot wait. It's going to be one hell of a good month and a half for these for this Iroc series. Cannot wait, Byron.
I agree. And my favorite track, I gotta be honest, is gonna be Bristol. I am a fan of Bristol, always have, always been. But speaking of Bristol, we got Phoenix. We got a race to settle here tonight as they are gonna come to the green flag once again. Brendan with a huge jump, almost about 4 car lengths as they head into 1 and 2.
Yeah, heading down into 1 and 2, cutting that dog leg. Here comes Kevin McCann. I mentioned it. He's on that inside. He's going to let that 33 eat. Can he pull a slide job to get up in front of Quick? Up towards the line, not quite clear. Either that or Spotter wasn't quite quick enough to say he was clear. But great battle right here for P number 2. It looks like Jesse King right now sitting back here in this 25, really trying to dig and get after it. Maybe just waiting to see which line is going to move, who's going to make a mistake. As long as he's not collected in it, he might have a shot. But always up towards the front. That's where a little bit more of the bumping and banging usually happens.
A little bit of wrecking back for the 23 of Cook Quick, but he kept it going, so everybody's going to stay green here. In the 25, like you mentioned, he has battled his way all the way up here. The 46, after saying his car wasn't feeling the great, sitting himself right now at P5, looking for more positions. Everyone fighting, everyone's struggling for every position they can, but everyone's still chasing that 83 at the end of the day.
Yeah, the 00 all the way up by that high side, and Chris Wally right there with him in this number 51. He had to let up just a little bit in order not to wreck out that 00. Might have been sending him for a couple loops, but we're going to stay green, Byron. 12 laps remaining. We're getting closer and closer to those double digits. Will somebody get a little past their braking zone, come on up, tag a couple bumpers, and find out what's happening? Or will something else go on?
Yeah, I have no clue, but only time will tell. Everyone just still struggling for position, but I tell you, from what we've seen throughout so far tonight, our first race here, it has been phenomenal racing, and at the rate we're going, I can't wait to see what the rest of the season is going to look like. Everyone, I mean, Phoenix is a tough track to race at, especially with how loose it gets in colder weather, which is where they're at right now, but at the end of the day, everyone is just fighting for position, fighting for what they can. It's slowly starting to turn into a conga line once again with only 10 laps remaining.
Yeah, I tell you, Brandon Medford right now has got to feel pretty confident in his car. He's been up front for a majority of the race, clearly led the most laps. The only other person to lead any laps tonight is who we're on right now, talking about Chris Medford back there in that number 46, now sitting P4. So he was P5 when we talked to him, able to move on up one more spot. But Byron, this is a 1 mile track, part oval, part road course. You can really, try to find as much clean air as you can, but it gets pretty congested everywhere you go.
Yes, it does. You give little to no room to the guy in front, guy behind. Like we've mentioned, there's only 1 or 2 lanes that you can get out of Phoenix Raceway, and that's either bottom or top. Mid doesn't work that well, especially here. I just don't know why tires don't want to stick, but everyone else, they're making every single lane work. If there's a chance for a lane, they are making it a lane. They are looking for any open air, any possibility they can get, almost all the way up in the wall. In the wall is going to be the 3 of Brian McCann trying to chase him down, but I don't know, Pete. Gap's slowly starting to decrease a little bit between Neil and Brandon, but this 3, he's looked strong. He's looked really, really strong all night long, but he's starting to struggle when the time really, really matters.
I know what I think that is, Byron. I think that's just called getting after it. With less than 10 laps to go, you want to try to get a little bit more out of those tires. You want to cut into that deficit. You want to take that next spot. Again, Byron, we're talking points. We're in the playoffs, so every single point matters. Good battle sitting right here behind him between the 70 of Aaron Smith and Brian McCann. The 00 as well of Mike Koch. Mike Koch right going to settle in right behind him. coming off the dog leg into the next corner, one of two areas that are heavy for brakes.
Yeah, and Aaron Smith was looking fantastic earlier. I don't know what happened. Maybe got a black flag for speeding down pit road, but found himself all the way in the back. But here he comes once again. I think if a caution comes out, he's going to be in prime position. And he's going to be that mix, whether or not. But I don't know. We're coming down the 5 to go. Everyone's sort of biting their time, looking for positions. 2 of Neil. He's going to be about half a second behind the leader of the 83. The 33 of Kevin McCann's going to be a third of a second behind him. So everyone now slowly starting to spread out. At this point, it's just minimizing your mistakes, making them little to none, and just driving the track the same exact way for these next few laps.
You know, Byron, what I just noticed about this field as I switched over to logos, all right, on the scoring pylon, every single car is a Chevrolet Camaro. I did not actually pay attention to that earlier. So yeah, in true Iroc fashion, every car is a Camaro. So if you're a Ford or a Toyota guy, yeah, not so much. But let's go ahead and get back to our gap. Right now, a little bit more than a half second between Mefford and Quick. But Quick going to show he can, all he needs is a little mistake. He needs just Mefford to get a little aggressive on the throttle. But he's been a model of consistency all race long. I don't think Mefford messes this one up. I think it's his race to lose. He's just been too strong all night long. I think Mefford in a couple laps going to come across that start stripe. He's going to be the first one to see Barney. Barney's going to be waving him on through.
I 100% agree. Unless if guys are starting to scout out that 3 and 4 corner, maybe it's looking a little dicey for them. Maybe it's a risk they want to take, but I don't know if they're going to chastain it. We'll have to see.
Ooh,
but
I
yeah, I've taken looks. I've tried it a few times, never really figured out. But a man can dream.
There you go. Well, Byron, white flag is out. Brandon Mefford going into these next couple turns. He's going to go down the backstretch looking really strong. I don't see any kind of slipping or sliding out of him whatsoever. Down the backstretch, going to turn number 4. Barney is going to see him first, coming through the corner, off the corner, sliding on up. Brandon Mefford's going to go ahead and win. Neil Quick number 2. Kevin McCann will round out your top 3. Congratulations, Brandon.
What a race for Brandon, and in true fashion, my iRacing just crashed. But
wow.
Hey, good. Yeah, right. Good win for Brandon. I mean, we saw him just absolutely dominate tonight, and I didn't expect anyone else to win that race. He was just on rails.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's got to be pretty cool to keep a race amongst you and your brother to go on out, show out, get the best out of your car, get the best out of your competition. It's his turn to go ahead and burn him down. Let's clear the boards for him. Stage is all his. All right, he's going to go ahead and park it right there on the start stripe, on that finish stripe, as far as he's concerned. Or maybe not. Maybe he's not done parting yet. Maybe he just wants to turn it around, get a better view, take the pick for the old portfolio. Congratulations one more time, Brandon. All right, guys, we will be right back with our top 3 live from the booth. We're going to talk to Brandon about this dominant win. Neil Quick, we talked to him as well during one of the breaks. And then Kevin McCann, going to hopefully get a word with him as well. Don't nobody go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the Iroc series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
All right, ladies and gents, thank you very much for keeping it right here. Definitely appreciate it. Unfortunately, we were not able to get a quick word with Kevin McCann, our third place finisher in that number 33, up 4 spots from where he started. Great job by Kevin all night long. But we're going to move on up to Neil Quick. Byron Jones, I believe you got him.
Yeah, Mr. McCann, man, what a night for you and what a race. I tell you, coming home P3 after such a huge battle that you've had within the top 3, in the top 3, out of the top 3, and then you found yourself right there when it all mattered, when it was all said and done. Walk us through your race, man.
Yeah, car felt good. Definitely didn't have the short run speed I wanted tonight. Definitely felt like my strong suit was in the long run. I just wish that final stage was a little bit longer, had some more green flag racing, but yeah, just really tough track to pass at, so you had to be kind of strategic in where you placed your car. Seemed like the high line was pretty dominant, so you just had to be careful and not fall for those traps where a guy gives you a gap on the inside and you get down there and get stuck and then freight train. So I fell victim to that a couple times, not gonna lie, but was able to work my way back up there and bring it home third.
Yeah, well, you walk home third, so it's going to be a good points day for you. Heading in the next race, how you feeling? It's Charlotte. It's going to be a mile track, so you're going to have to sort of it is a mile and a half. You're going to have to sort of strategize for it. Obviously, Charlotte is known for almost wide open racing. How do you sort of come in with a plan of attack for that?
Well, I got lucky in the beginning of the season. I actually won there, so won that race on strategy. So hopefully I can do the same thing next week there. Just get the strategy right and hopefully, be up front there in that final stage.
Well, there you go, man. Congratulations once again on a P3. Before you go, any shout-outs you got?
Yeah, just shout out to all the guys put on the league and all the sponsors, Spartan Logistics, R&R Racewear, all those guys. And I appreciate you guys doing the broadcast. And shout out to BMF. I think that's his first win of the season. So congrats.
Wow.
There you go, Pete. I believe you got our second place right now. Mr. Neil Quick came in sliding like Bone Luke Duke. He's ready for his interview.
There you go. Yeah, Neil, we got a chance to talk to you during the race, during one of the cautions or stage break rather, and you're on the outside. We were kind of curious what your plan of attack was, and how racy you were going to get. You felt pretty good about it. Coming home P2 in points, going to grab some stage points, I believe, as well. How do you feel about the night, and how do you feel on this second step on the podium?
Feel pretty good. Definitely congrats to Brandon, man. He had that thing wired and railing out there. But, I mean, those restarts are pretty hairy on the outside. I was digging and getting like Dale Jr. You know what I'm saying, boys?
Uh-huh.
Just trying to stay on the outside and keep my nose in there so they could slide up coming off of turn 2. I know I used that a couple times on Kevin and Aaron, and just holding your position and trying to keep your momentum up there.
Now, we were talking about the high side around this 1 mile track a couple of times. I know that all y'all race with different kinds of tools, or you might have a spotter, whichever. When you came down pit road, swapped out your for 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, what was the tire wear like riding that high side versus the low side?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, low side or high side. I mean, I had a barbecue on the right front. I mean, they could have used we could have put that on a rotisserie, man. That's how hot it was. So I was doing everything I could to keep it off the right front and save it. I mean, the last stage there, right before, or the second to last stage, I got a little bit better, but just kept playing with the brake bias, trying to get the car to rotate and get off the damn right front tire.
Well, man, you did your thing. Brought that Deuce home P2, up 3 spots from where you originally qualified. So you advanced your position. Great finish for you tonight here in the desert. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City, is next week. How comfortable are you feeling going to Charlotte, or are you gonna have to put in a couple extra practice laps during the week?
Man, for me to compete with these guys, I got to practice every weekend and put in the laps. I mean, these guys are stout. So, but yeah, I feel good going in. But I mean, they should rename that place Brian McCannville, man. That thing is his track. So we're going to get a workout there.
All right, buddy. Congratulations again on this P2. Phenomenal job. It's been a pleasure to be able to chat with you and everybody else tonight. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you need to get out there, sir?
Yeah, man. Thanks for you guys doing the broadcast, doing a great job tonight. Of course, the league admins that bust their ass every week to put this on. Chris Wiley, Kyle Pennygraph, Brian Rick, all the sponsors out there, again, to make it happen. Spartan Logistic LLC, R&R, Loud Pedal Media. Everybody we race with, man. These are a great group of guys over here. Family allowing us to have time. And, yeah, we're going to go have a cold one now and think about Charlotte next week.
And you absolutely enjoy it. You earned it.
Thanks, guys. And by the way, congrats to BMF on his first win.
There you go. So two giving props to our winner that definitely showed to have the strongest car. All right, BMF. I might as well go right along with the name. Brandon, you kept it a family affair tonight. First, you're talking about Chris Mefford up there, led a bunch of laps. Lap car got in the way. You were able to get on by, as you said earlier, right about the time where your car was really starting to come in. And once it came in, man, you set sail. Through the stage breaks, all the way through, you were the first to see the checkered flag. Congratulations on this race, sir. Walk us through, please.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So, just got to say, this is my first official league win in Iroc. I think this is my 3rd or 4th season, so super elated to finally get one done. These guys that we race with are some of the best on iRacing, so to beat them in the fashion that we did means a lot to me. But going back to the race, I probably ought to hand this one to my brother. I followed him around them first, 30 laps or so, and he got me a good feel for the track. My tire wear was amazing. I couldn't believe what it was there at the end of that first stage. But, once I got by him, I had a really good feel of what I wanted to do, what I needed. That high side down in 1 and 2 was the key. And then I really think I had the best car down there in turn 3. Had a lot of drive off. But just an overall great race. I can't say how thankful I am for everybody. that puts this on.
We actually did take note of your ability to drive up off the corner in several spots. Really didn't see any slipping and sliding. Was tonight's race, with as cool as it was, more about throttle control, or was it more basically just hitting your marks and getting into the corner properly?
Yeah, I think it was just a matter of not overdriving the car. It's so easy to do here. Get off in the corner and get sideways, or like Neil said, burn that right front off. So, my whole goal was to use the brakes, as little as possible and get the car turned down and pointed off the corner. I suppose the throttle control there off at 2 was really good, but I really don't know. The car just felt great all night.
Well, man, way to absolutely get that monkey off your back, grabbing a W. Charlotte Motor Speedway next week, the Beast of the Southeast Dash for Cash race. Can you get it done and go 2 for 2?
Well, probably get a winner's penalty like Aaron and Brian did. So, no, probably not going to get it done unless we get a lot of luck. But that's Brian's place to go dominate. So we're going to give it all we got. Hopefully some things go our way and we got a good car, and we'll do our best to be up there at the front there towards the end.
All right, buddy. And, of course, last but not least, friends, family, sponsors, you need to get out there. The stage is all yours on top of that podium.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody again. We've had our ups and downs in the league. This league is amazing. So thank you to everybody in the league. Thank you to all the sponsors, Spartan Logistics, R&R Racewear, 5-Star Graphics, Zoe's Place, all those guys that help put the league on and get it going every week. All the drivers for sticking it out. We're a tight-knit group. We do get into it a little bit. So, but everybody comes out here to put on a great show every week, no matter what's going on from the previous week. So super proud to be a part of this league. And then I got to thank, again, my brother for helping me tonight, showing me the ropes, and then my Falcon teammates that are back. Hopefully they're watching. Got a bunch of guys that have helped me really grow here in the last 2.5 years in this iRacing thing. So, and then I thank my family. I give a lot of time away each week to get on here and hone our craft and try to go fast. And, last but not least, I want to thank you guys for the broadcast. It sounds like you guys do a great job, and we love going back and watching it and seeing where we screwed up or where we could get better. So it's always fun to do that, and you guys do a great job.
It's a labor of love. Unless you love doing it, don't bother with the labor. There you go. All right, man. Definitely appreciate it. Congratulations on the W one more time. Byron Jones, buddy, thank you so much. Thank you for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping me company all night long. Same with everybody out there in Facebook, on YouTube, or through Iroc TV on Roku. Man, it's been one hell of a race for us. One hell of a first call here with the Iroc Contender Series. I definitely want to thank Mr. Wally, for believing in both Byron and I that we could absolutely take the call and run with it. Byron, thank you so much for being my wingman for yet another call.
Yeah, man, I love this every week. I love doing this. I love doing this with you. It's always a blast, and I can't wait for next week and the future weeks. It's just going to repetitively get better and better as we go. I tell you, it was a little bit rusty up in here, but I had a blast always.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. And I didn't want him to think that I was forgetting his name. Brian Reed, thank you very much as well. But, all right, guys and gals, that is going to absolutely do it for us. Again, thank you for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping Byron and I company everywhere we were. Big thanks to Spartan Transportation as well. We will catch you guys same bat time, same bat channel next week from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to get down and dirty in the Queen City. Y'all take care. Stay safe.